Most people think the world is silent if you listen long enough. But in certain places, the Earth speaks back, its voice loud enough to haunt science and legend alike. Deserts that sing at 70 hertz, fjords that drive people to panic, flames that have roared for 50 years, like a furnace opening beneath your feet. Each whisper is proof that the planet is alive, and sometimes its warnings cannot be ignored. But what happens when we finally decide to listen? In the heart of the world's great deserts, the silence is an illusion. Stand atop certain dunes in Kazakhstan, Namibia, or California, and the ground itself begins to vibrate. A deep, unbroken hum rolling through the sand like thunder from beneath your feet. The air thickens with sound, a chorus so powerful it is felt in your chest, not just your ears. For centuries, camel drivers crossing the Altan Emel dunes spoke of sand spirits calling out, their voices warning the lost or guiding the weary through endless waves of gold. Science caught up with the legend in 2001 when physicist Stefani Duati triggered an avalanche on a Kazakh dune and captured its song in the lab. The sound, measured at 70 to 105 hertz, is born from millions of grains, each between 100 and 500 microns, sliding in perfect synchrony down a steep slip face. It is not just friction, but resonance, a feedback loop as dry, polished grains coated in a desert glaze rub and tumble, amplifying each other until the dune itself becomes an instrument. The effect only happens under rare conditions: hot, dry air, perfectly sorted sand, and just the right touch of moisture to bind the grains. To the ear, the desert's music is neither machine nor myth. It is a living breath, a reminder that even the quietest places on Earth can roar if you know how to listen. On the wind-lashed cliffs of Kavaloya, the air itself becomes an unseen predator. Gusts funnel through the narrow fjord, squeezing between rock walls and creating vibrations too deep for human ears, below 20 hertz, in the realm of infrasound. The locals have a name for it: the sound that drives men to madness. Campers who have braved these valleys speak of a pressure that settles behind the eyes, a crawling unease that grows with every hour. In 2014, 3 hikers abandoned their tents in panic after a night of sleepless dread and nausea. Doctors later found no physical cause, but their symptoms matched those described in Norwegian acoustic studies: anxiety, heart palpitations, a sense of being watched. Scientists have traced the source to the unique geometry of the fjord: steep walls, sudden pressure inversions, and wind speeds that can double in a matter of minutes. The resulting infrasound slips beneath the threshold of hearing, but not the threshold of feeling, shaking the body's nerves and stirring old fears. Some say the cliffs themselves whisper warnings, but the real danger lies in what you cannot hear: sound that moves through bone and blood, changing the mind long before the ears catch on. In these northern fjords, the Earth's voice is a test of endurance, a reminder that silence is sometimes just another kind of storm. In the Karakum Desert, the ground splits open to reveal a wound that never heals. The Darvaza gas crater, 30 meters across, burns day and night, its flames clawing at the sky, casting shadows that flicker across the barren plain. The story begins in 1971, when Soviet geologists chasing natural gas set their drill over a pocket of methane. The Earth collapsed beneath them, swallowing the rig and leaving a gaping pit Fearing the spread of poisonous gas, the engineers made a fateful decision: ignite the vent and let the fire burn itself out. But the fire never died. Decades later, the crater still roars, a ceaseless exhalation of heat and sound. The locals call it the door to hell, a name that clings to the place like smoke. Some say it is a warning, proof that the earth remembers every wound. Stand at the rim and the roar is relentless, a deep, mechanical breath that drowns out thought. Scientists trace the sound to the turbulence of burning methane, a chaotic resonance that never settles. Yet the myth persists. Travelers whisper that this is a portal, opened by human greed, where the Earth's voice is no longer gentle or mysterious, but furious. A reminder that when we force the planet to speak, it may answer in fire. When Lake Baikal freezes, the silence is anything but empty. Beneath the surface, the world's deepest lake becomes an instrument. Ice sheets stretching for miles, alive with sudden cracks and sliding tones that ripple like music from another planet. In the dead of winter, a single fracture can send a tremor across 2 meters of blue ice, the sound leaping from a sharp high chirp to a deep trembling hum. Scientists in Irkutsk and Buryatia have measured these vibrations traveling through the ice at nearly 4,000 meters per second, their frequencies shifting with every change in thickness and temperature. The physics is precise. As the ice expands and contracts with the cold, pressure builds until it breaks in a burst, releasing energy that echoes for miles, a melody shaped by the lake's ancient geometry. But for the Buryat shamans, these are not just the sounds of ice. In February 2023, spiritual leaders and researchers gathered on the shore, listening together as the lake sang its winter song. Shamans traced the voices to the Izan spirits below, guardians whose presence is felt in every vibration. Their rituals and the scientists' instruments recorded the same moments, a badge of partnership between myth and measurement. Each crack and moan is both data and message, a living dialogue reminding all who listen that the Earth's memory is written in sound, and that the boundary between knowledge and reverence is as thin as the ice itself. The Earth exhales through stone, and in California's moaning caverns, that breath turns to a low, restless wail. Air moves through the limestone's narrowest veins, pushed and pulled by the changing warmth of day and night. As pressure shifts outside, the cave passages become a throat, shaping the wind into moans that seem almost human, sometimes rising, sometimes falling, never quite the same twice. Early miners paused at the sound, unsure if it was the rock itself or something older calling from below. The Miwok people left behind arrowheads and beads, but their stories about these echoes have been lost or folded into newer legends. Today, scientists trace every sigh to the mechanics of karst. Temperature swings force air through constrictions, and the stone answers with a voice of its own. Yet the question of who owns that voice, nature, history, or commerce, has never been settled. In the 1980s, as the site drew crowds, disputes over tourism and preservation simmered, but the moans kept coming, untouched by argument. To stand in the cavern is to feel the Earth's lungs at work, and to wonder if every sound is a warning, a memory, or simply the planet reminding us it is never truly silent. Beneath the endless white of Antarctica's Ross Ice Shelf, a song pulses through the snow, steady, inaudible, but as real as any heartbeat. Wind sweeps across sculpted dunes, setting the surface vibrating at 5 cycles per second, a frequency far below what human ears can catch. In 2017, a network of 34 seismic sensors recorded this hidden music day and night, charting every shift in the ice's voice. When a warm spell softened the snow, the song's pitch dropped, a measurable decline of nearly a fifth of a tone, captured on spectrograms as the shelf's resonance faded. Scientists read these changes as warnings. The lower the note, the weaker the ice, and the more vulnerable the shelf becomes. What was once a constant hum now drifts downward, a planetary alarm sounding out from the world's coldest silence. The Earth's voice is changing, and the instruments never miss a note. In 1997, a sound unlike any other rippled through the Pacific, so deep and powerful that it was picked up by hydrophones thousands of kilometers apart. NOAA scientists called it the bloop. Its frequency was ultra-low, its volume unmatched by any known animal. Using triangulation, researchers traced the origin to a remote patch of ocean west of South America, but the source remained hidden beneath miles of water. Some proposed it was the calving of a massive iceberg. Others whispered about undiscovered giants in the deep. For years, the raw recording sat in NOAA archives, fueling debate and speculation. No single explanation fits every detail, and the ocean keeps its secrets well. The bloop stands as a reminder. Our instruments can capture the planet's pulse, but there are places where even science can only listen and wonder what stirs in the darkness below. Right now, scientists record Earth's shifting frequencies as glaciers melt and deserts expand. Each change rewrites the planet's song, an urgent signal, not just a curiosity. The Earth is speaking in every tone and tremor. The real silence is what happens if we stop listening.